Opening, the cafeteria shame. Mia held her blue lunch tray with both hands. Her fingers were shaking. The rich school cafeteria was loud. Big glass windows. Long shiny tables. Students laughing. Phones in their hands. Mia wore an old, faded uniform. Her shoes had small scratches. But her eyes were bright. She walked carefully between the tables. Then a sharp voice cut the air. Sophie, the rich girl, stood up from her group of friends. Perfect hair. Expensive watch. Clean white shoes. Sophie, hey you, new girl, come here. Everyone went quiet. All eyes turned to Mia. Mia stopped. Her heart started beating fast. Mia, softly, me. Sophie smirked. Sophie, yes you. With the poor shoes. Some students laughed. Mia's cheeks turned red. She took a slow step closer. Just as she reached their table, Sophie accidentally hit Mia's tray with her elbow. The food flew in the air. Rice, curry, and salad crashed on the floor. The whole cafeteria gasped. Sophie looked down at the mess. Then she looked up at Mia. Sophie, loud, careful, maid's daughter. We don't want dirt on our floor. Mia froze. Her eyes filled with tears. Her lips trembled. Students started whispering. Some were recording on their phones. And at the door of the cafeteria, Mia's mother, Grace, stood in a maid's uniform. She saw everything. Grace's hands shook as she held a cleaning cloth. Her heart broke. Narrator. In this moment, Mia felt smaller than a grain of rice on that floor. But what Sophie didn't know was that in less than 1 hour, the whole school would watch her cry. Morning sunlight fell on the big school building. It looked like a palace. Mia walked beside her mother, Grace. Grace wore a simple maid uniform. Mia wore her school uniform, a little too big for her. Grace, smiling softly. Mia, are you ready? Mia held her old school bag tightly. Mia, I'm scared, Mama. Everyone here is rich. Grace touched her daughter's hair. Grace, you got a scholarship with your hard work. You belong here, okay? Don't let anyone make you feel small. Mia nodded, but her eyes were wet. They reached the back gate. This gate was only for staff. Grace, from here, I go to the staff area. You go to the main entrance, okay? Mia looked at her mom's uniform. She felt a sting in her chest. Mia, in a low voice. Mama, can I not tell anyone that you work here? Grace paused. Her smile faded for a second. Grace, softly. Are you ashamed of me, Mia? Mia shook her head fast. Tears in her eyes. Mia, no, Mama. I don't want them to laugh at you. Or at me. Grace sighed. She looked at the big building. Grace, people may laugh, but work is not shame. Still, I understand. You don't have to tell anyone. But never forget who you are, okay? Mia hugged her. Mia, whispering, I won't. I promise. Grace watched as Mia walked away. Her small figure disappeared among cars and rich students. Inside the main gate, cars stopped one by one. A black luxury car pulled up. The driver opened the door. Sophie stepped out. Brand new phone in her hand. Designer bag on her shoulder. Her mother, Mrs. Carter, sat inside the car, on a call. Mrs. Carter, don't worry, the charity event will be perfect. Our school will look so good in the news. She ended the call and looked at Sophie. Mrs. Carter, remember, you are the face of this school. Head girl, top of the class. No mistakes, okay? Sophie rolled her eyes. Sophie, yes, Mom. I know. Mrs. Carter, and don't mix with ordinary kids. You know what I mean. Sophie smirked. Sophie, relax. I only sit with people who match my level. The driver closed the door. The car drove away. Sophie flipped her hair and walked like the school was hers. In class, Mia sat in the last row. Her notebook was neat. Her handwriting was beautiful. The teacher, Ms. Laura, looked at the class. Ms. Laura, class, we have a new student. Mia, please stand up. Mia stood slowly. Dozens of eyes looked at her. Ms. Laura, Mia got a full scholarship. She is very bright. Soft whispers filled the room. Scholarship. Is she poor? Look at her bag. Sophie sat in the front row. She turned her head a little. Their eyes met for a second. Sophie thought, her face looks familiar. But she didn't care enough to think more. Ms. Laura, you may sit, Mia. Mia sat down, heart racing. At lunch break, Mia walked to the cafeteria. She counted the money in her pocket. Just enough for simple food. She bought the cheapest lunch. Plain rice, curry, and a small salad. As she turned, she almost bumped into Sophie's table. We are now back at the cafeteria moment from the hook. The tray. The fall. The insult. Mia stood in the middle of the cafeteria. Food around her shoes. Sophie's words echoing. Sophie loud. Maid's daughter. Mia's eyes widened. How did she know? From the side, Grace had just entered to clean a table. She heard it. She saw her daughter shaking. Grace took a step forward. But then she saw Sophie's face clearly. Grace whispering to herself. Miss Sophie? Sophie. The rich girl from the house where Grace sometimes worked extra hours. The girl who never said thank you. Grace's heart sank. Her boss's daughter was humiliating her own child. Students laughed. Some recorded. Some just watched in silence, scared to speak. Mia bit her lip. Her eyes filled with tears. Narrator. In that moment, Mia wanted to disappear. If you were in her place, what would you do? Ms. Laura entered the cafeteria and saw the mess. Ms. Laura, shocked. What is happening here? Everyone went quiet. Sophie stepped back, acting innocent. Sophie. Oh, Ms. Laura, she just spilled her food. These people are not used to such clean places, I guess. A few students giggled. Mia looked down. She couldn't speak. Grace moved forward quickly. She knelt down and started cleaning the floor. Her hands trembled. Tears dropped on the tiles as she wiped. Mia watched her mother on her knees. Her chest hurt. Grace whispered, It's okay, Beta. It's okay. But it was not okay. Ms. Laura saw the pain in both their eyes. She clenched her fist. But she also knew who Sophie's mother was. A powerful woman on the school board. Ms. Laura, weakly, everyone, finish your lunch. Mia, you can get new food. Sophie rolled her eyes. Sophie, loud enough for all, maybe they should give you a mop instead of lunch. This time, even some rich students looked uncomfortable. It was too much. One boy, Daniel, frowned. Daniel, that's not funny, Sophie. Sophie glared at him. Sophie, if you like her so much, go sit with her. She pulled out her phone. She had recorded the whole thing. Sophie whispered to her friend, this will go viral in our class group. She hit send. The video began to spread. Narrator. But Sophie had forgotten one thing. The school also had its own cameras. And someone else saw everything. At that exact moment, the principal's voice came through the speakers. Principal Mr. Kane, all students and staff, please come to the auditorium. This is urgent. Students looked at each other. What was happening? Mia wiped her tears. Grace held her arm. Grace, softly, come, I'll go with you. Mia looked at her mother's worried face. She had no idea that her life was about to change. What did the principal see? The auditorium filled quickly. Students whispered. Teachers looked tense. On the big stage, Principal Mr. Kane stood with a serious face. Beside him was a large screen. Ms. Laura guided her class to the seats. Sophie sat in the middle, arms crossed, bored. Sophie, whispering to her friend, maybe they're announcing my award again. Her friend giggled. Mia sat at the back with Grace near the side door, with other staff. Mia's eyes were still red. Grace squeezed her hand. Grace, stay close to me, okay? Mr. Kane tapped the microphone. Mr. Kane, silence, please. The room slowly became quiet. Mr. Kane looked around. His eyes were kind, but today they were serious. Mr. Kane, today, something happened in our school. Something that goes against our values. Against respect. Against humanity. Sophie checked her phone, not really listening. Mr. Kane continued, we found a video on one of our security cameras. I want all of you to watch it. The screen lit up. The video started. It showed the cafeteria. Mia with her tray. Sophie calling her. The tray being hit. The food falling. Sophie's words, maid's daughter. You could hear the laughter. You could see Mia's face breaking. You could see Grace kneeling on the floor to clean. Then it paused on Mia's tear-filled eyes. The whole auditorium went silent. Even Sophie's mouth fell open. She didn't know the cameras caught everything. And then, another video clip appeared. The one Sophie had recorded and sent. Her own phone screen was visible in the corner. Mr. Kane, this second video was shared in a student group. By one of you. Some students looked at Sophie. They knew. Sophie's stomach twisted. Her palms began to sweat. Mr. Kane, tell me, students. Is this who we are? Silence. Mr. Kane, louder. Is this what our school stands for? Nobody answered. Mia looked down at her hands. Her fingers were still shaking. Grace blinked back tears as she watched herself on the big screen. Her pain, shown to everyone. Mr. Kane turned away from the screen and faced the students. Mr. Kane, we talk about respect every day. We talk about kindness. But today, we saw cruelty. Not outside. Not on TV. Right here. In our own cafeteria. He took a deep breath. Mr. Kane, I want the student who shared this video to stand up. The room felt heavy. Sophie could feel hundreds of eyes on her. Her heart pounded. For the first time that day, she felt real fear. Her legs started to shake. Her throat became dry. Mr. Kane. No one. He looked towards the middle rows. Mr. Kane, firmly. Sophie Carter. Please stand. Gasps spread across the hall. Sophie's body went cold. Her friends moved away a little. Slowly, she stood. Her knees were weak. Mr. Kane, did you share this video? Sophie's voice was small now. Sophie, I was just joking. It wasn't serious. Mr. Kane's eyes flashed. Mr. Kane, humiliation is never a joke. He looked at Mia. Mr. Kane, Mia, please come to the front. Mia froze. Her heart jumped. Grace whispered, Go, Beta. I'm here. Mia walked down the aisle. Her legs were heavy like stone. When she reached the stage, she stood next to Mr. Kane, looking at the floor. Mr. Kane, Mia is a scholarship student. She worked hard. She studies every night. Her mother. He looked at Grace in the side area. Mr. Kane, her mother, Grace, has cleaned these halls for years. She stays late. She comes early. She has more respect in this school than many who wear expensive shoes. Grace covered her mouth with her hand. Tears ran down her face. Some staff clapped softly. Mr. Kane, louder now. And today, the daughter of one of our school board members called her child, maid's daughter, like it was an insult. He turned to Sophie. Mr. Kane, Sophie, is being a maid shameful? Sophie shook her head quickly. Tears now forming in her eyes. Sophie, no. I didn't mean. Mr. Kane, cutting in, you did mean it. The cameras don't lie. Sophie felt the whole hall staring at her. Her face burned. Her chest felt tight. Narrator. Minutes ago, Sophie laughed while Mia cried. Now, look who was shaking. At that moment, the auditorium door opened. Mrs. Carter walked in, heels clicking. She had been called urgently. She saw her daughter standing. She saw the video paused on the screen. She understood everything in 1 second. Mrs. Carter, angry. Sophie, what is this? Sophie couldn't speak. Mr. Kane faced Mrs. Carter. Mr. Kane, calm but firm. Mrs. Carter, we were just discussing your daughter's behavior. Mrs. Carter looked from the screen to Sophie, then to Mia and Grace. Her jaw tightened. She knew Grace. She knew her hard work. And she knew the school's reputation was now at risk. Will Mrs. Carter protect her daughter? Or will she stand for what is right? The air felt heavy, like everyone was holding one big breath. Mrs. Carter walked down the aisle. Her heels echoed. Click, click, click. She stopped near the front row and turned to Sophie. Mrs. Carter, low but sharp. Did you really do this? Sophie's eyes overflowed. Tears ran down her cheeks. Sophie, sobbing. Mom, I was just playing. Everyone laughs at poor kids. I didn't think. Mrs. Carter slapped her words away with her voice. Mrs. Carter, enough. The hall was silent. Mrs. Carter faced the stage. Mrs. Carter to Mr. Kane. I am ashamed. She turned to Grace first. Mrs. Carter, her voice softer now. Grace, I am so sorry. You have taken care of our house for years. You stayed late when Sophie was sick. You never complained. And this is how my daughter repays you. Grace shook her head, tears falling. Grace, madam, please. She is a child. She. Mrs. Carter, firmly, no. She is old enough to know kindness. She looked at Mia. Mrs. Carter, voice breaking. And you, Mia. I remember seeing you study at the corner of our kitchen when your mother worked extra. You inspired me. Do you know who pushed for your scholarship? Mia looked confused. She shook her head. Mrs. Carter, it was me. I saw how hard you worked. I told the board you deserve a chance. The whole auditorium murmured. Mia's eyes opened wide. Mia, whispering, "You helped me." Mrs. Carter nodded, tears in her eyes. Mrs. Carter, "Yes. And my own daughter tried to destroy the same chance." Sophie's legs almost gave out. She grabbed the chair in front of her. Her world started to crash. Narrator. This is what karma looks like. Sometimes it doesn't come from the sky. Sometimes it comes from your own family. Mr. Kane cleared his throat. Mr. Kane, we must decide consequences. Everyone is watching. Not just this school. Someday, the world will see who we really were in these moments. He looked at Sophie. Mr. Kane, Sophie Carter, from this day, you are removed from the position of head girl. You will not join the school trip. Instead, for the next 3 months, you will work after school, helping the support staff, cleaning classrooms, serving in the cafeteria. You will learn what respect means. Gasps again. Some students whispered. Sophie's lips shook. Her pride was gone. Sophie crying, "Please, sir. Everyone will laugh at me." Mr. Kane, maybe then you will understand how Mia felt. His words hit her like a stone. Sophie covered her face and sobbed. Her shoulders shook. Mrs. Carter didn't defend her. She just stood, eyes wet, letting her daughter face her karma. Mr. Kane turned to Mia. Mr. Kane, gently, "Mia, I know this day was very hard for you. You did nothing wrong. You showed strength, even when you stayed silent." He stepped forward. Mr. Kane, louder, "From today, we are starting a new award in this school. The Grace Award for Dignity, named after your mother. For the staff member who shows the most dedication and kindness." The staff clapped. Some cried openly. Grace covered her face. Grace, shaking, "Sir, I don't deserve this. I just clean." Mr. Kane smiled softly. "Mr. Kane, you clean, yes. You also raise a brave, hard-working daughter. You keep this place shining, while some hearts remain dirty. You deserve respect." Students began to clap louder. Daniel stood up and clapped. Then more students. Soon, almost the whole hall was on their feet. Mia looked around, stunned. For the first time that day, she felt seen. Mr. Kane and Mia will receive full support from the school. Books, meals, tuition. No one will call her maid's daughter with hate again. If they do, they will answer to me. Mia's eyes filled with tears again. But this time, they were tears of relief. She turned to her mother. Mia, crying, "Mama, they're clapping for you." Grace, sobbing, "No, Beta, they're clapping for us." They hugged tightly on the stage. Near the middle, Sophie watched through her tears. Her friends were no longer laughing. Some looked at her with pity. Some looked away. For the first time, Sophie understood how alone someone can feel when others just watch. After the assembly, Mr. Kane called Sophie to the front. "Mr. Kane, you have something to say to them." Sophie walked slowly to the microphone. Her eyes were red. She looked at Mia, then at Grace, then at the whole school. Sophie, voice shaking, I was wrong. I thought money made me better than others. I thought being head girl gave me power to say anything. But today I saw, I was the smallest person here." She wiped her face. "Sophie, Mia, Grace, I am sorry. I don't expect you to forgive me today. But I will try to change. I will work with the staff. I will clean the floors I made you kneel on." Her voice broke on the last words. Mia watched her. Her heart was still hurt. But she also saw a broken person in front of her. "Mia, softly, I don't want you to kneel. I just want you to stop making others feel less." Sophie nodded slowly, tears falling again. Narrator. Sometimes the hardest punishment is seeing yourself clearly for the first time. Later that evening, Mia and Grace walked home. The sun was setting. The sky was orange and pink. "Mia, Mama, are you still angry?" Grace smiled a little. "Grace, I am sad. But I'm also proud. Proud of you. And proud that today, truth stood up." Mia held her mother's hand tighter. "Mia, I'm not ashamed anymore, Mama. You are a maid, but you are my hero." Grace's eyes filled with fresh tears. Grace whispering, "And you, my daughter, are my miracle." They walked on, two small figures on a big road. But their hearts were bigger than any rich girl's ego. Narrator, to the viewer. In this world, money can buy uniforms, phones, and big cars. But it can never buy real respect. If you were in that cafeteria, would you laugh? Or would you speak up? Remember this. No job is small. No human is cheap. Look down on someone today, and tomorrow, karma may make you stand where they stood. Never insult someone for their work or their status. In the eyes of life, we are all equal, and karma never forgets.